A trip to help celebrate a child's birthday party this week has landed a Williamson County judge in a criminal investigation. Judge Bill Gravell extended a stay-at-home order the day of that birthday party. As KXAN investigator Jody Barr reports, Gravell is now accused of violating his own order.
Not only that, the county judge is also accused of abusing his position of power by using taxpayer-owned equipment to help in that birthday celebration. All of this was caught on camera.
Top right photograph, you've got Bill Gravell in bunker gear with a respirator, apparently in the driveway of his daughter's home wearing bunker gear that was borrowed from the Jarrell Fire Department.
When Georgetown attorney Robert McCabe decided to comment on a tweet Tuesday.
This was the initial series of photographs posted that show Bill Gravell's daughter's home in Jarrell.
He likely didn't know then what was coming.
And that was at 3:32 p.m. I got a call not 20 minutes later from my assistant, followed by a call from Sean Dick, a frantic call from Sean Dick indicating that it was an emergency that Bill Gravell reach me.
McCabe says he was on a three-way call with the county DA and county judge Bill Gravell. Gravell, he said, wanted the post taken down.
And to have him call for a personal matter through the DA to reach me over a Twitter post is it's just offensive.
Earlier that morning, Gravell stopped by the fire station in Jarrell and asked his chief to borrow a fireman's gear. Chief Mark McAdams let the judge take the gear.
Judge Gravell called me and asked me if he could use a piece of equipment because it was his grandson's birthday and he wanted to go by and visit and just say hello to him on his birthday without risking contamination.
This isn't something that just any member of the public could come by and borrow.
No, it is not. And then there lies my regret that I should have said no to the judge as well.
When Gravell climbed out of his pickup truck at the party, he didn't know it then, but someone was watching. 2 weeks before, Gravell signed a stay-home order telling everyone in the county they'd be arrested or fined if they left home for any reason that wasn't essential business. The public's frequently reminded of this.
Failure to comply with the stay-home safe order shall be a criminal offense punishable by a $1,000 fine or confinement in jail not to exceed 180 days.
These pictures ended up on an anonymous Twitter account known as Buddy Falcon.
I merely posted a picture of him going to a birthday party.
After he told the rest of the county to stay at home.
Exactly.
The person running that account agreed to interview with us if we concealed their identity. The account frequently posts insider information critical about the county sheriff's office and at times Judge Gravell. You felt like the county judge was abusing his power?
The county judge is abusing his power. The county judge is doing things that he is telling other people they will be arrested for or fined, and yet he felt that it was okay for him to go to his grandchild's birthday party dressed up in a fireman's suit that he borrowed.
The Buddy Falcon post is what led to that phone call between Gravell, Dick, and McCabe.
Well, he's confessed, so I don't think this is a whodunit defense. On the three-way call, knowing that District Attorney Sean Dick and I were both on the call, and he was admitting that he had a Williamson County Sheriff's deputy drive him and his wife to Jarrell, to the fire department, borrowed the fire department equipment, including the respirator and the bunker gear, had them then drive him to his grandson's birthday party at his daughter's house in Jarrell so that he could visit with his grandson because he had not seen him in 2 or 3 weeks.
There is a criminal penalty attached to violating an order.
But it goes beyond that, because when he's an elected official, if he uses his position as a public servant to obtain a benefit fraudulently, which is what he did, that's abuse of official capacity.
Gravell did not respond to multiple messages requesting an interview. DA Dick told me since he's now a witness, he could not prosecute the case. He's already discussed the alleged crimes with County Attorney D. Hobbs. Hobbs, though, might have to send this investigation out to another prosecutor, since Hobbs might have a conflict since he represents the County Commissioner's Court where Judge Gravell presides. We'll continue to follow this investigation to its end. The studio, Jody Barr, KXAN Investigates.